I've been following Christ for 2 years now, and it took me 1.5 of those years to get rid of my addiction. Look, bro, I'm not gonna come online and act like I'm perfect because Lord knows I'm not. I started smoking nicotine in high school, and I did it for about 6 years, from vaping to Zins to cigarettes to Swisher Sweets. I don't know if you know what that is, but cigarettes at least have the decency to have a filter on it. Swisher Sweets don't. People use them to roll weed. I used to do that. I was such a fiend, I would just smoke it straight. I put it this way, I was such a fiend that when the buddies would invite me over to like puff on a cigar, I would smoke the cigar. Do you have any idea how harsh that is on your lungs and your throat? Horrible. Oh, dang. Alexa, what day is it?
Today is Sunday, May 7th.
Oh, these eggs is 5 days old. Here's how you can tell if an egg is bad or good. Drop it in some water. And I think if it floats, it's bad. Dang, I can't remember. Now look, I'm not gonna be played for a fool. I know I'm not the only one that struggled with addiction out there. I know that there's some of you guys that are struggling with addictions right now. So I hope that this video can help you. Something I really wish that I learned sooner is that addiction is more so an identity problem. You see, Jesus says that he makes us new. We become a new person whenever we give our lives to Christ. We die to our old self and we begin a new walk with Jesus. There's this cool thing that goes, Satan knows your name but calls you by your sin, and Jesus knows your sin but calls you by your name. So Jesus isn't gonna call you an addict. He's not gonna call you a nicotine addict. He's not gonna call you a porn addict. He's not gonna call whatever it may be. Jesus is gonna call you by your name. He calls me Cameron. Satan calls me nicotine addict. And that's how you know the difference. There's no condemnation for those that remain in Christ Jesus. There is conviction, and conviction is this hope-filled thing that tells you, I can do better. I want to do better. Not that I can't do better. You see, Paul talks about this. He talks about sin, right? He says, I don't do what I want to do, and I do what I don't want to do. It's not me that does it, but the sin that lives within me. Now think about whenever sin was mentioned for the first time in the Bible. I recently discovered this, and I found it so interesting. It's like in Genesis 3, and it says that sin is waiting outside of your doorstep to jump on you, to get a hold of you, to get its claws at you. Almost like sin is a separate being and not just an action. So we got to get this through our thick skulls. And it took me 1.5 years of following Christ. I was making Christian content and smoking cigarettes. I don't know how you guys are gonna feel about that, but I did. It's me coming clean. I'm imperfect. Look, I'll be vulnerable with you guys. There's still times where I'm driving down the right back road, the sunlight's hitting my face right, my hands out the window, the right song's playing, and I wish that I had a Zen in my mouth. I still get those cravings. But what I remind myself with now is that's Satan reminding me of who I was and not who I am. I don't claim that title. So don't claim the title that Satan's trying to give you. And with that being said, I don't know if you're new here, but if you are, what's up? I'm Cameron. I make videos online about Christ because he saved my life. And if you're not new here, I see you. I thank you for coming back, and I salute you. If we're just meeting for the first time, I make breakfast every single morning, and we share a chat. This is like our morning FaceTime call. They don't always come out in the mornings, but I try my best. And lastly, I know the set looks a little bit different. I bought a house. I didn't buy a house. I'm at my parents' house. But one day, I hope to have a house, and I hope to fill it with a wife and kids. That being said, I hope you have a good day. I'll talk to you later.